Welcome to newest episode of State of the Race, USA Presidential Election 2024, September 29, 2024. Today we're talking about the tied races in Georgia, Michigan, and North Carolina. We're also talking about the races in Florida and Pennsylvania are no longer tied. Harris is already leading the electoral college votes, and Governor of Nebraska, GOP governor, and the attempt to upend the election system in the state. And on Tuesday, there's the running mate debate between Tim Walz and J.D. Vance, running mate of Donald Trump. As you know, we need 270 electoral votes to win the election. And here we are with the newest results. Kamala Harris would currently win the presidential election if we would vote today. She would lead the election against Donald Trump and has 277 votes in comparison to 214 votes for Donald Trump. Previously, he had 258 votes. So at the moment, we know that there would be a winner, but this is only the current state. We still have over 30 days to wait until we have election day. And this is the current state of the race. As you can already see, we have three tied races. This is Michigan. One moment, I take the signal here. We have Michigan, we have North Carolina, we have Georgia. And these are tied races. We don't know yet who will later win the state. And even if there will be a winner, still there are also third parties who have a chance to take from each candidate. Let it be Oliver from the Libertarian Party, let it be Cornel West, an independent professor running for president, or Jill Stein of the Green. Then we can also see that we have this green wall here. We also have the green Northeast. Then we have some states which are green in the Middle West, including Nebraska. And then you can also see that here is the red wall for Donald J. Trump and also the red block in the North. Then let's go on. First of all, recent events. What happened in the last week? First of all, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visits the US, presenting his victory plan for the war against Russia. He also met several politicians like the Senate leaders Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer of the Democrats. But he did not meet with Donald John Trump. Then we have this attempt by Trump allies to upend the electoral system in Nebraska. Nebraska has, like the state of Maine, a system where one of the electoral college votes goes to the winner of the popular vote, and the other points are going to those who are leading in the districts. But this has been ended by the governor of the state of Nebraska, who is also a member of the Republican Party. Then, I apologize, the image is wrong. We will see the debate between the running mates of the two main candidates, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, on Tuesday when J.D. Vance and Tim Walz will debate. Then let's go to the numbers. So first of all, there is almost no big change in the popular vote. The Harris-Walz campaign still has 58.2 million potential voters. The Trump-Vance campaign has 53.8 million voters. Then we have undecided voters. This is indeed reducing. There are around 1.86 million undecided voters in America. States with more than 4% undecided voters are Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. New York is a bastion for the Democratic Party, but there is currently an investigation against the mayor of New York City. Then let's go to the South. In comparison to last week, Republican candidate Donald Trump lost 16 electoral votes in the South. Races are tied in North Carolina and Georgia. Usually, what we have seen most recently is that the South is a stronghold for the Republican Party. But now we can see that these two states, and specifically it's surprising for North Carolina, that these states could turn blue on election day. Then we can also see here on the graph, here Donald Trump would currently have 48% of the popular vote in comparison to 52% for Kamala Harris. We can also see here the losses that we see. There's not much movement, but surprisingly that you can see here that there's a bigger downfall for Donald John Trump in Nebraska and a big win for Kamala Harris in the same state. This is very interesting, and you can see many downwarded red bars in comparison to the blue ones. This is also very interesting. You can also see this here in Michigan, but this is for both. Even Kamala Harris is losing more ground in Michigan than Donald Trump. And we can see that there are also more undecided voters than everywhere else. Let's go on. That we can see the tied races. Georgia is still tied. Still, because we had the same episode last week. Georgia was tied with 48 to 48 and 4% undecided voters. It didn't change. It remains still in limbo. Then we have North Carolina. North Carolina usually was red, but now it's tied with 48, 48 and 4% undecided voters. It's the same. And then we can see Michigan. Michigan, the epicenter of America's car industry, is tied with 46 to 46 and 8% undecided voters. I've mentioned this on the previous slide. So here we must see what is going to happen there. These are important states. We can't misinterpret how important these states are. And these are the ones who can later decide the race. Let's go to the battleground states. And here we can see already Florida is out. Florida is not tied anymore. Last time we have seen that there was a slight chance that Florida could turn blue again, but this is not going to happen. So here we can see Kamala Harris is currently ahead in Florida. Here we can see it's tied in Georgia, Michigan, and North Carolina. There's a slight lead in Nevada, but Nevada could also vote red for the first time in decades. And then we also have Wisconsin. Wisconsin, there Kamala Harris is also leading. She's pushing back Donald Trump, but this can still change. And okay, this was an old map. I beg your pardon, I forgot to delete this. Let's go to the battleground states in numbers. At the moment, the battleground states are 74 electoral voters, and these are highly contested. Florida was an outlier, and this is no longer a battleground state because Trump has a lead of 5%. 3 states are tied, but Pennsylvania, like Florida, is not a battleground state anymore because Kamala Harris is leading with 6%. And here are the results if you want to view them, to read them. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you very much.